Stop walking past this at the thrift store. Everyone is skipping these orange wood pieces, but they're actually the easiest ones to make look high-end. So, let's fix this ugly entryway table. Welcome to episode 2 of my Thrifted Home Revival, where I am going room by room through my 1970 home, transforming each space using thrifted finds. And this entryway, it all started with one piece. And it's not this table. If you missed episode 1, that's where I found it, and you'll have to check it out to see. But this entryway makeover all started with one piece. It started with this lamp that I found at the thrift store, and I almost didn't grab it. But it has that classic old money feel, kind of Ralph Lauren meets European cottage, and I knew I wanted this whole space to feel like that. And this table was not giving that at all. So we are fixing it. Even though this piece wasn't the piece I thrifted for our motivation for the room, it was a thrifted piece. I almost didn't pick it up, but I think I can make this beautiful. Let's see if this works. First step in making this entryway feel more classic and beautiful is staining this piece. If you've never used gel stain before, it is actually one of the easiest ways to transform furniture like this. I'm going to show you 5 simple steps to get a really good stained finish. If you've never used a gel stain before, it is actually one of the easiest ways to transform a piece like this. But before we get started, I bet you can guess that we have some other steps to get to first before we start staining. Step 1 is cleaning. I am starting with a really good clean, and honestly, this step gets overlooked a lot, but it will make a huge difference. A lot of these thrift pieces, they've had years of buildup on them, dust, old cleaners, oils. They've been handled for a long time, and you don't always notice what is on there until you start wiping it down. And once that layer starts coming off, you can actually see what you're working with. Sometimes the finish looks better than you expected, and sometimes you realize that it's actually worse. Either way, it gives you a clean starting point. Now, I am not doing anything fancy here, just a good wipe down and taking my time with it. I'm checking for any damage, any spots that might need attention, or anything that could show through once I stain it. And I did notice this water stain here. So I'm gonna try something that I've heard works. We will see. I've heard that Barkeeper's Friend or a cooktop cleaner product can remove stains on furniture. So we're gonna see if it works. I've never actually tried it before, so I'm not expecting perfection here, but I just wanna see if it can lighten it up a little bit before we move on. And even if it doesn't fully come out, that is okay, because the stain we're using later can help blend things like this in. But at this point, I just want everything clean, prepped, and ready so we can go on to the next steps smoothly. All right, now that it's clean, let's see what we're working with. Step 2 is sanding. And that is another step that sounds more intimidating than it actually is. I am not trying to strip down this piece or take it all the way down to raw wood. I just want to scuff up the surface a little so that the stain has something to grip onto. That is really the goal here. Not perfection, this is just prep. I'm also paying attention to any rough spots or areas that feel uneven or need smoothing as we are going. And you can already start to feel the difference. It just makes a little bit more even, and it makes it ready for the next step. My pups are ready for the next step too. This is also where I really like to slow down and just look at my piece, because once you start staining, everything becomes very noticeable. So anything that you can fix right now is going to make a really big difference later. And again, I am keeping this really simple. You don't need a bunch of fancy tools. You don't need anything complicated, just a light sand and a little bit of patience. Once it feels smooth, once it feels even, and once you've gotten those little spots smoothed out, that's when I know it's ready. All right, now it's time for the fun part. Step 3, gel staining. I'm using a gel stain in the color Coffee by Minwax for this. I wanted something that would tone down the orange, but still feel warm and classic. Gel stain is one of my favorite ways to update furniture like this. It is really forgiving and gives you a lot of control over the final look. I am starting with a small amount and just working it into the surface. You don't need a lot here for the beginning. You just need enough to get an even layer. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They try to do too much at once, but with gel stain, less is more. You are wanting to build this slowly so you can control how it looks. I like to work in small sections when I'm using this gel stain. You can also see that I'm using 2 different foam brushes. I like to have one to apply the stain and then one to smooth it out a little bit. It seemed to help me not get too much stain on my piece to where it didn't overdo the color. I will apply it and then I will let it sit for about 5 minutes and then go back and wipe it off. This just gives it enough time to settle in, but not so long that it gets sticky or hard to work with. Now, this part can vary a little depending on your environment. If it's warmer or drier, it might set faster. I live in a really dry environment, so it sets really fast. But if it's cooler or more humid, you might have a little bit more time. So I'm just really watching it as I go and adjusting based on how it's reacting. There's really no perfect timing. You just want to catch it while it's still workable. For this first coat, I am trying to go with the wood grain. The bottom of this piece is very interesting in how it has wood grain that goes different directions. So this was a little tricky, but I am trying it out to see how it will work, but you can already see the difference happening here. Just as a reminder, if you are into transformations like this, you will probably want to stick around. Be sure and hit that subscribe because I am working through my whole house, one room at a time, in this Thrifted Home Revival. That is really what the Flipper's Guide is all about. We are taking pieces that people overlook and turning them into something beautiful. And then we're using them to create a full room. You will not want to miss it. This is the part that really changes everything, where you are going back and wiping it off. Again, you can see that orange tone really softening. It is looking so much better already. This is where you can really control the look. If you want it lighter, you can wipe more off. If you want it darker, you can leave a little bit more behind. But this is usually the moment where I start thinking, okay, this might actually turn out pretty good. And there's also times when I doubt, whenever certain areas look a little bit lighter than I want or a little bit sketchy. But this is where we start step 4. Step 4 is building color. And from here, I'm just repeating the same process, and I am building up the color slowly. I will let this layer dry, and then I will go back in and add another one until it looks right. I will go ahead and layer these colors, making sure to wipe it down in between to a color that I really love. This is where patience really pays off because rushing it can really make it look uneven or streaky. If you take your time, it will really start to look really rich and even. But just know this is a process, so do not stress out, do not freak out, don't overwipe it or sand it down, just let it go through the process. I promise it will be worth it. Once I'm happy with how it looks, I am either going to lightly wipe it or leave it alone and let it fully set. And that brings us to step 5, which is letting it set. Since this is an oil-based stain, it already has a built-in finish, so I am not going to be adding a top coat. At this point, it's about letting it cure so that it holds up well. This final step may take a little patience. It may feel dry to the touch within a few hours, but that does not mean that the piece is fully cured yet. For something like this, I like to give it at least 24 hours before using it, 48 hours to fully cure, and sometimes even longer. In the meantime, I'm going to clean the glass on this piece and clean the tile where my piece is going. This grout is a mess, and I am using my new tile cleaner to really get into that grout and get it clean. For the final step, I am updating the hardware. I used the same gel stain on the wood. As you can see, it pops out, but I didn't get to record that, but just know that gel stain worked really well on the wood pieces, and I'll show you the after in just a minute. But I went in with Rub and Buff in European Gold on the metal, and this is one of those small details that makes a really big difference. It just warms everything up and gives it that more classic high-end look. Okay, we've made it. And before I show you how it turned out, I want you to remember how this table looked before. It was so orange, the finish felt heavy, and it just didn't fit this space at all. But I am so excited for you to see it now. This doesn't even feel like the same table. That orange tone is completely gone, and it just feels so much more classic and high-end. And I love that it still has its warmth. It didn't lose that, it just softened everything. Let's check that water stain. Honestly, it's a lot better than I expected. It's not perfect, but it blended in enough that you really don't notice it anymore. And now it actually works with the space, and it ties in perfectly with our lamp. Next time you see one of these, be sure not to walk past it. And like I said, be sure to subscribe because next time we are tackling the walls. I am thinking wallpaper, and it just might change this whole space. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for being here with the Flipper's Guide. I will see you next time.